Holler if you hear me, and welcome to tonight's edition of Art Uncensored. It is the top of the hour, 10 p.m. Eastern, and we are here and together for multiple reasons. Of course, the main reason, as we are now going on to issue 5 of my comic book Encrypted, we've got page 6 right here to finish on up to get us a day closer and a page closer to issue 5 being complete. And since the publishing plan is to do 6 issues of Encrypted this year, well, that means already there will be another step closer to a whole now just having that one issue left to complete. And also something else that happened. It is here. At last, now we've got physical copies of Encrypted #1 right here for all of you to see. They came, and now it is time for them to see and to conquer right here, right then, right now, as we move, as we are. Oh, yes, it is all here, right down there. The actual physical pages, all printed up, all ready to go, including your little preview for issue 2 as the back inside right there. And then comes the little salvo in the back, actually the little conclusion, yes, the crescendo text in the back, since all of those who pre-ordered will be getting their copies shipped out first thing tomorrow. Of course, there will be a postal video for all of that. And also, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, do not forget that there will be a whole video behind the entire process of shipping and delivering all of this. Of course, the unboxing, I did record all of that, of what the unboxing was like after the recording of picking those boxes up off my porch at the beginning of the day today, as you saw there with the way the sun was going. So now, we are up, and moving to get this right out there ready for all of you, because the fact that I actually have the physical completed comic book right here in my hand that's going to be coming to all of you who pre-ordered, high and low on the list, whatever it was you did, if you just simply got yourself a nice good plain copy like this, or if you subscribed to the comic and you're going to be getting it at the signature level where you got the 1-year subscription with your copies autographed, or if you got an autograph with a sketch inside, your pieces will be coming. They will be shipped out. They will be delivered to you. So this automatically puts me at a level above Vito Giswaldi and is now putting me at a place where I'm actually holding my promises to those who spent money on getting comic books done by me, unlike either Van Sciver. And at the schedule we're going with, being able to maintain the publishing schedule where then we get to issue 2's pre-order will begin the pre-order process, the 30 days to pre-order issue 2 of Encrypted will be starting on January 30th. And then from there, they will be packaged and shipped out to people come March. That'll be us going now neck and neck with as many issues of the comic series as either Van Sciver. And then come May, with the same process of April being the month of amassing those pre-orders for issue 3, and April, and then May being what's going to be happening with shipping them all out. That means by May, we will now have surpassed him with, well, hey, 3 against his 2. And continuing this rate going, then we'll be up to, at this point now, with having the first 4 issues completed, we'll already will have doubled what that crap and that scam was going on with actually finishing and delivering comics by the time of SummerSlam, usually around July or August. But it'll be July for sure when this comic ships. And, well, issue 1 of Encrypted shipping January, as promised. And just in the process of waiting on this and getting everything and waiting for it to come and seeing what the finished results are, this is all just alone looking through this. I'm reminded of something that the cartoonist kayfabe guys at Piscore Jim Rugg would say, where you look at your work and you see how you draw and you see what the finished artwork looks like when you see the physical work in your hand, but you don't really know exactly how your stuff's going to look like until you see it in print. And then you see all the things that you need to improve, or as I have no one but myself to look towards when it came to actually getting the stuff printed and published. Now I see what it is that would go, and okay, now I know I can do better on this. Now I know where I can, go and get it printed in a way where you won't have, those blank pages exactly like, say, in the front or in the back. Although in this case, with issue 1, having the blank like this means that you who pre-ordered a copy with your copy signed and with the sketch inside means you'll get a full piece inside as opposed to like something in the margin around where the opening letter would be. And I will keep the opening letters going subsequent issues and with all of your responses when you get your printed copies. Those emails, those physical letters, those are the ones that will be processed, going through them, reading through them, responding to them, and printing those in the back, as you see here with Encrypted Messages Inc. A little bit right there. Oh, yeah, right there, right then. Now you got it. Now you are going to be seeing it along with, where to send your emails, where to send your physical letters, as well as, where the URL for the store, all right here, along with the list of those participating retailers and those who went and subscribed to the comic, all got their names printed in the back as promised. And well, at this rate, in the time between now and when issue 2 is printed and shipped, that means that those who would go and subscribe to the comic would go and order Encrypted issue 1. Now that the physical copies are here, for those who order now in the time between, well, now and issue 2 shipping, you will be getting your 1-year subscription with issue 1. Yes, issue 1 will be coming in whether you subscribe or if you get the subscription with signatures, you will be starting your subscription with issue 1. But then the second issue 2 arrives, then anybody who goes and gets the subscription beyond that, that means that your subscription will start with issue 2, and it being 1 year, that means 1 year means 6 issues, so your subscription will be valid from issues 2 through 7. And that sort of detail right there. And with those who had made that purchase, you will be getting, emails about reminding you of your subscription and, when it's expiring on the last issue that ships when you're getting your subscription. And that's just how it is, because remember, I'm everything involved in this. I'm the chief cook and bottle washer. So there's no publicist out there that's going to be contacting you. It's going to be directly me about, say, when issue 6 arrives and, oh, wait, yeah, issue 6, that means, well, now you got to go and renew that subscription when it comes to issue 7's pre-order launching. And just that sort of momentum going. I mean, that's why when it comes to the kind of way I draw and the way I work, where it's more intuitive in the way that if you say, remember that clip I showed you of Jim Steranko talking about Jack Kirby and saying the difference between how he worked and how Jack Kirby worked was that Kirby worked intuitively. That means he went there at his drafting table and he just worked off the top of his head to draw whatever it was he drew. I mean, there was no predilection or description at all of the Silver Surfer showing up in that famous Galactus, Coming of Galactus trilogy of issues from Fantastic Four. It was all just as that first issue was being drawn, it occurred to just as a reflex, as a creative instinct of Kirby's to go and add the Silver Surfer appearing to the end of the issue as the Herald of Galactus, because the idea of some entity being that powerful that he consumes planets would be so powerful that it would be beneath him to go around looking for planets. He would have a herald that he would send out with a portion of his power to go looking for planets to eat and announcing his oncoming presence. And then you have Jim Steranko, where he thought things out. He carefully planned things out beforehand. It's the difference between, say, like chess players. You have those that are constantly thinking, constantly maneuvering through every permutation of every move. And then you've got the intuitive kind, or those guys you see, hustling people at Washington Square Park that go by the little egg timer. And they're working with big, wild, crazy, flashy moves where it's all about, hey, that egg timer goes off. Okay, and I'm going to show how I can do this and this and this, and, under the 30 seconds. I know that chess sets do that, and I know that's like a thing when it comes to the competitive type of chess games. You see it like on ESPN2 if they still show them. But I remember there was a place at the Army base where my mother was. I remember they actually had a chess set that included the little egg timer, which is hey, that. But hey, that's the kind of way I work, is intuitively, and being able to just sit down and focus, for a smaller stretch of time out of the day and work on there, and spending all day clinging in front of this. It also shows that not only gives me the time to go and be able to, directly respond to customers, to be able to go and maintain the regular content on the channel, to be able to, move on with a life outside of everything that happened in the past year, since today is the exact now 1-year anniversary of my father's death. Yes. The idea behind all of this also shows that even though I'm spending a far smaller fraction of the time actually, at the drawing board working like this than so many other comics professionals would. Well, it goes to show you all those supposed professionals in that whole CG circle of, well, look what I'm doing. If I'm able to go there and the way they make it, they make out, they make it out to be making a comic as some type of deal where you've got to be there planning and planning and planning every move. And oh no, I cannot go and work so much. You cannot rush me. And then here I come in, like that, oh yeah, checkmate. This is the right here. I'm holding in my hands one of the 250 copies of my checkmate against Vito Gesualdi. So read it and weep. And yes, we've got this here. And don't forget, we still have a supply of this back cover in print form because, yes, future issues as well as any future business expenses related to Encrypted will still be funded through selling off those prints. Yes, yes, yes. And also with any future runs of prints I'll be doing, I do now know and do now have the immediate access to our beloved Sharpies right here in order to make the process of signing and numbering those prints a little more easier. Yes, because remember, those who got the 1-year subscription with the signatures, your copies will be in gold, like with Mark and with Weatherman. Those who got your copies autographed with a sketch will be included here with the silver signature. And all of those who got themselves a nice little signature on their book, you'll be getting the bronze. Yes, because all of you out there who went and pre-ordered issue 1, all of you are Olympians in some form or another. So all of you deserve that medal right there. And it's especially fitting we're doing this in the month leading up to the Winter Olympics. And yes, we have got the Winter Olympics that'll be happening during the process of accepting pre-orders for issue 2. And that is going to be a good, fun time right there. Oh, yes, because I just always preferred the Winter Olympics, although it probably has to do with the bias of the Winter Olympics happening when it's my birthday. Or my birthday always happens whenever it's the Winter Olympics going on. So it's that sort of personal bias. And those last 2 years of living here, there was also the last weekend of February being when the Great Lakes Comic Con would happen. Although at the Warren Elk show this past weekend, when I was there, I saw that I did not have. I overheard the man in charge of that convention talk with some other people about there not being a Great Lakes Comic Con this year, but there is talk of the wife of the man who founded the convention, who tragically died days before the Great Lakes Con last year, is going to be a possibility of selling it to another venue operator, something like that, who will go and buy it off them and then restart the show next year. Because this year, another thing about it is between the whole death in the family and all that, and the idea of accepting offers to buy it up, there's also the concept of that the venue where it would be, which is the Macomb Community College, as it is every year for the big February show, which also happens to be the place where the 100 days, the first 100 days rally happened with Trump, where of course, I did that video when I went there, and all of the footage I shot, the raw feed of all of it unedited, is available for the highest level members of my channel. And besides all of that, for all of you people out there, there's also the idea of, well, that place is actually going under renovations. So also physically, they just couldn't be able to put the show on during that time on the 2nd. So, in February. So next year, if they do it, although there also, I overheard concern about if the guy in charge of Motor City Comic Con would go and operate that and buy it up. And I agree with other people who heard that, saying, yeah, I sincerely hope not. I truly, madly, deeply wish that they don't do that. Because yes, there's a reason I stopped going to Motor City. There are still people there that would regularly buy my work at those conventions where, thank God I collected their emails. So I've been able to go and contact them about, me not going to that show and about me having this comic book out and ready for them. And since the comic is now, we've got the physical copies here, all of the inventory that has not been pre-ordered, we'll just have it there in the store. And of course, also now, finally, the timing still frustrates me a bit because, yeah, we got the physical copies right here on Monday when there was that convention, that nice big convention in the same month right there Saturday. But now that just means, putting the check out there for the February show so that then I finally have the physical copies here while also accepting pre-orders for issue 2 when I'm at that February show, the February Warren Elk show, and just keep that going and running and have that machinery, that efficiency out there to show, okay, here's everything I've done. That's part of why I have the portfolios as part of what I've been bringing to these Warren Elks conventions, because having the portfolios with the original finished artwork in there, they get to see, okay, here is these issues. It's not, here's the proof of life that I'm making that the comic is done. Where, yes, we've got issue 1 right here, and I promise you that there's going to be, the publishing schedule will be another issue every 2 months, and here is the finished artwork for issue 2 and 3 and 4. Right now we're doing issue 5. At that point, I'll be in the middle of issue 6 when we get to the February Warren Elks show, where we'll have some inventory of this. And in particular, if you want to know what the actual inventory count is past all of those pre-orders, we'll just go a little bit right through and give you an explanation, because we've got a 250 copy print run for issue 1. And for those regular copies of issue 1, there are 95 remaining. For autographed copies, there are 46 remaining. For autographed and sketched in copies, you've got 47. And then also we still have 397 subscriptions left for the first year for that. And there are 98 subscriptions with autographs remaining for all of you out there. And the prints for the prints we did, the Better Dead Than Fed prints, there's still 63 of the 75 done of those remaining. So this is what you all have to think and all you've got to consider right there. And of course, there are the copies that will be shipped to those participating retailers sometime, depending on how long or whatever it will take for me to go and ship out issue 1's pre-orders. I will try to see whether or not I'll also be able to make a trip up to Green Brain Comics, which is one of the participating retailers, bringing there the copies and go, okay, here we are. And also be able to contact. I did go and make that deal there, where with the owner of Cosmic Comics and Toys, to go simply contact them, and they said to get them, a phone call. Although I do remember them giving me a business card. That was just something where I'll have to flip through my Rolodex of business cards to see, all right, what the phone number on there is and make that call. Okay, now, do you want me to deliver the copies to one of the stores in person, or is it a deal where you want me to ship them out? You just say so, and we'll make that deal. And that's about it. And also, there won't be any kind of screwing out kind of deal where putting it in stores to make it cheaper. No, the base price for a copy of this is $5. It'll be $5 also in the stores, in those actual physical comic shops that'll hold it. I'm making that deal there, and of course, although with the retailers, it'll definitely be a deal where, all right, you'll get a bulk order at a discounted price, but still at the discount that will then justify them wanting to put it at the $5 cover price, where alongside all of that. Although considering DC and Marvel these days, me putting this self-published thing at $5 is me actually having it's pretty much now equal with what your average monthly floppy Marvel or DC is. That's around, I think the last comic shop visit I did, the regular floppies were like $4.99 for like a regular issue. And now if you do those like prestige ones, like that Greg Capullo Wolverine one they did, or there's the Kitty Pryde and Wolverine one that had Alan Davis and Chris Claremont reuniting, I think is more than that now. And those miniseries, or it did look cool. There's one I saw that, because I follow Steve McNiven on Instagram, I saw Steve McNiven do posts of the process of this Daredevil miniseries he was drawing with Charles Soule writing. Even though it did look like fan fiction of Elektra Lives Again, like Steve McNiven was really trying to adopt the drawing style of that Linnae Claire way of drawing that Frank Miller used. Pretty much the only time he ever really used that for a comic being Elektra Lives Again. and some also cover work he did in the late 80s. If you look at the cover art he did for the first English translation of Lone Wolf and Cub, which was done as like a monthly book in like thicker volumes, but still trying to make it like in the regular monthly American floppy style that had him do like 18 something covers for them. Those are the covers that they use now. They reuse them for when Dark Horse did the reprints in the traditional manga tankobon size. And now for the omnibus edition trades they did, that's 12 volumes. I have 10 out of 12 of them, and it's all the Frank Miller covers. Like I still have them on my Amazon wish list, volumes 8 and 9 of the Lone Wolf and Cub omnibus. That's all Miller covers, and it's like the one time of his life where he drew with like no heavy shadow. He's always known as the film noir guy. Even the way his style was very different in his Dark Knight Returns work or his Daredevil run or Ronin compared to Sin City and all the comics he's drawn afterwards. But then smack in the middle of that is Elektra Lives Again, that has this whole anomaly where it was published in more of a page format, in the page size, and in the hardcover like printing that's more like the way that the French published comic books as opposed to the American style. And also the way he drew was in the more what's more of the like house style, the socially acceptable style of drawing comics in Europe, which is in clean line drawing as opposed to any kind of heavy cross hatching or heavy light and shade brushwork like that. And well, and with this Daredevil miniseries that Charles Soule and Steve McNiven were doing, you can tell, at least with McNiven artistically and his colorist, whoever that was, really were trying to go after it like it was some type of sequel to Electric Lives Again, at least visually, between the coloring very much trying to have that sort of painterly style that Lynn Varley brought to Electric Lives Again, if you've seen those pages. And it was, the same thing with having that wide, beautiful open canvas for Lynn Varley to go and apply all that great color to Frank Miller going out of his way to, go through a phase and draw in the clean line style of the Europeans. And then after that, he wouldn't draw a comic for Marvel or DC for another decade. And then after that, it's all the heaviest of the heavy light and shade, film noir, chiaroscuro type of brushwork, which, makes seeing it in color all the more strange, even when there would just be the color covers for each individual issue of the Sin City stories he did, where he had his wife doing the coloring on that. Like that almost looked like so odd. And that's also why in the final story for Sin City that he did, there's one whole issue where it's one big acid trip, and most of that is him going back into a clean line drawing style, because that whole issue was done, almost all of it was drawn in color. So then that means, okay, that open style, where it's the simple clean lines, then makes it very open for coloring. That's why with the type of Lynn Claire drawing style I've been doing for years now, that I've even had professionals look at my work and say, have you thought about doing a coloring book? Which, yes, as I've said, in the future, with more experience with publishing and working and all that, and, being able to really draw a regular following with Encrypted, where it would be a matter of having that type of, consistent, profitable readership, I then would want to go into self-publishing a coloring book, where it would be sort of like it would be a coloring book by way of the Marvel swimsuit specials. If you remember those swimsuit specials they did in the 90s, where it would be all the different Marvel or DC characters doing either like Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue specials, or for like the male heroes, it'd be like a Flex magazine or like a Muscular Development kind of looking thing like that. But, of course, having all the pages it would all be black and white. And it would be, yes, the swimsuit coloring book, the encrypted swimsuit coloring book, where it would be, a succession of, and maybe not even specifically called a swimsuit coloring book. It would be something like that with Encrypted, where it'd be a combination of illustrations of either Fiona in, her various high fashion getups, because she's a very fashionable lady, and also her in various swimsuits across major exotic locations, considering the massive amount of illegally confiscated federal resources she has. That means that she, of course, can, go and travel the world in all the best vacation destinations from Bora Bora to Milan and Paris, Neverland look back, and go there on, yachts that belong to billionaires that have been compromised by the FBI, or that she went and investigated and compromised by herself personally. And that's why she personally has them on, wrapped around her finger. Which is the plot point that happens in issue 2 when it comes to her being able to, live out in someone's mansion, a certain rich man's mansion out in Texas, and then being able to use one of his private jets to fly herself out to Elkhart, Indiana, to meet someone very special who is the crux of issue 2. And then onwards and things like that, developments like that go. And also the natural sort of creative reflex of, well, if there is this world where the FBI has completely been shut down, well, then what would be like the international espionage sort of a backlash or downfall of that? Wouldn't there be other intelligence officers that would wind up, wanting to go and try to fill that void or doing things covertly for, America now that they don't have that FBI apparatus around? Or would it be that there would be so many other former feds that now would be going rogue, but who exactly would they be going rogue for? Whose side would they be on? Would they go and be confiscating federal assets on behalf of, say, the Chinese government, or would it be for the Jamaican government and our Indian government? How would that work? Well, there is a certain former MI5 gentleman that Fiona will be coming across in issue 5 that you'll be getting to know a lot better. And also, it'll give more explanation and deeper illustration of the history of federal agencies, those sort of federal agencies doing work on behalf of another country they're allied with to make sure that that country's own government can avoid a paper trail of one of their agencies getting traced back to doing some unsavory operations, very, very, very clear and present danger kind of stuff. If you're familiar with that book, before me now, who's in the middle of reading it. Yeah, out of them. A couple of those volumes that my sister got me from visiting Myopic Books, there was the volume 2 of the Mickey Spillane, Mike Hammer paperback collections. Yes, One Lonely Night being the first novel in that series, and the other being Clear and Present Danger, which was, as I showed you, one of those big hardcover first editions of that. So you've got all of that to think about and all of that to go through as we move along. And, the Encrypted train is going to keep going. You all know this, and that's why, I'm tempted to give everybody an overnight delivery, or ship it as an overnight delivery, so then it can be the most immediate. And during this week, you all will be getting, for you all to get your copy, and you're all to immediately have whatever feedback it would be, negative or positive. It's all something where, you out there pre-ordered, I know you're not the kind of people that would be there, that are, troll buying. Like, say, what happened with all the crap against Air July when ISOM 1 happened, and there were as many people that were buying ISOM 1 that were buying it just to go and intellectually dishonestly rage at it because they don't like Air July, as opposed to just everybody there being customers that were genuinely excited for the work. But then again, you don't make 3.7 million off of a comic with all those people buying it without having a few enemies. But then also there is, the deeper thinking of, well, if I were to be as big as that, where then I'd be having so many people, so much of a customer base based off of hate reading it, well, they're still paying me. So looks like I'm still winning at the end of the day. It's kind of like what was supposed to be the opening scene of Chasing Amy that got deleted, where it's Ben Affleck and Jason Lee going to this comic book store where they've got issue 2 of their Blunt Man and Chronic comic out there. And there, Jason Lee is all excited and happy about it. And they decide to go, and, for the sake of it, he goes and buys a copy of his own comic. And he's, under the thinking of, well, how often can a man go and buy something in a store with his own name on it? And the retailers there are both talking to both of them, how stupid it is. It's nothing but fallow fart jokes and dick jokes and all that. And they walk away, even with these guys insulting them and saying how they recommend people away from their book because it's so stupid. And then they throw a trash can through their window with a note attached to it and a check that's worth 3 times more than what the window cost, and a sign that says, fuck you, I'm rich, is what the note says. That's that definitely would be something I would agree with when it comes to shutting up people like that. But now let's move on to the talent portion. Knowing how much you're going to love to see what I have in store for Fiona tonight. And now I have a very, very, very physical, concrete, corporal response to when it comes to an idiot like Vito Giswaldian saying, hey, when is Super Killer coming out? Or hey, Ethan, when is Cyberfrog 3 coming out? I am curious. Blue. And hello to RJ. Oh, good evening to you. And RJ Noel also says good evening to you. Issue 1 of Encrypted. Yes, the print run arrived. Here it is for all y'all to see. Yeah, y'all be easy. That's right, baby. Yeah, that's right. You know what I got there? I got this going with the magical. It's magical, baby. That's right. Know why? Because I'm a magical Caucasian. Looks great, says RJ. And well, now, of course, the store has been updated to now just say ordering issue 1, copies of issue 1. Now that the physical copies are here, we can't say pre-order anymore. And also, if you go and subscribe to the comic, then if you subscribe between now and the day before issue 2 arrives from the printer, that still means if you subscribe, your subscription will start with issue 1. But then from then on, when issue 2 arrives in print, then that means when your subscription will begin from 2 onwards. So here we go. Right here in the store. Number 1, $5. Number 1, autographed, $10. Number 1 with an autograph and sketch, $20. Or a 1-year subscription for $60. Or a 1-year subscription with autographs for $90. So there you are. You've got your orders right there. So now let's go to Our Lady Fiona, because she always dresses to impress. Let's remember, Fiona has very thick nipples. Because she's got great tits. And how does she like having them? In a nice dress or a tight top. But she will never show them at the cheetah. Because she is a whore, but she's not a cheap whore. Yes. Nips like Sydney. Oh, yes. If you remember, I think The Voyeurs was the name of that indie film she did, where she's in a relationship with some doughy black dude, and the two of them catch looking across the way at this one guy who's getting busy with all sorts of different women, and then she winds up tracking the guy down, and he winds up seducing her into posing nude for him, and then they fuck like crazy. Yes, very nice. And of course, the idea of Sydney Sweeney playing Fiona would be amazing. It would be astounding. If somebody were to, get a copy of issue 1 and get it in Sydney's hands, why not? Oh, so if in the future issue, or maybe even in that coloring book I'll do in the future, if you wind up seeing Fiona in a sexy devil costume, like you saw on Instagram a couple months ago, where Sydney was in the sexy devil costume, don't be surprised. I think she would be on board. Well, that would be very, very flattering if she would. Like with what happened when there was the barbed wire movie, which I actually have always defended, and I like the barbed wire movie more than it's definitely a better lady superhero movie than Black Widow. Since La Femme Nikita's been done to death, well, for if Sydney wanted to go and do a La Femme Nikita kind of role, well, I definitely would say that there are some La Femme Nikita similarities with Our Lady Fiona, so why not? Let's get this here. Yeah, I wish you would have freshened up too. No, get up in there. Oh yeah, there we go. And of course, it will be a better time if I leave the bra off tonight. All the men will agree that I'm the best dressed, as always. Yes, she's got those. One thing a lady like Fiona loves about being in London is that it's always a bit nippy. So a woman like her can always have a fun time showing them off. There we go. Now let's get this out of the way. Ah ha ha. Kiabao. Kink is my middle name, bitch. Oh. And yes, I would recommend you watch Sydney in The Voyeurs. You get to see her naked on top of a man, riding and riding like she's a rodeo champion. And well, you may or may not be, seeing her, Fiona, in issue 5 having some rodeo fun of her own. Oh, no desire, quench my desire. Give in to me, give in to me. Mm. Excuse me, would you mind if I would come down there to sing to you? So I've learned that love's not possession. So I've learned in time of reflection. Tito, give me some tissue. Jermaine, stop teasing. But Michael, another kid? That's like another dead white woman showing up at OJ's house. I was just like, I know what you're thinking. You are not alone. You are not alone. You want to see. You are not alone. Hee hee. Hee hee. Especially if she would get to wear bras like this, I think Sydney would be on board. Maybe if they think we could get our agent, if we got our agent interested. Yo, how you gonna rip it like this, son? How you gonna rip it like that, son? And I'm acting a black and a real black sheep. I'm talking, oh. That's right, yo, because I'm freaky for you. That's right. Say what? Say what? Nigga got goat legs and no nuts. Down the street, as I'm rich. Bye, 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 bitch. Bye, bitch, I'm rich. Bye, bye. And what do I get with the bronze B-movie package? Gary Busey. RJ says, you're reminding me, I was recently in another stream and a person asked what movie she played a stalker, and I answered My Life. And it took them a second to realize it was a joke. I mean, what if Sydney Sweeney was a horny stalker after you, and you open up your bedroom window or you draw the curtains open, and suddenly there she is, topless, pressing her tits up against the bedroom window while masturbating because she's just that horny for you. Like that, the girlfriend of the main guy at Midnight Express, where she's pressing her tits up against the glass, going, "Oh, Billy," like that. Oh, Billy. That would be very fun. Or in the future, I could just have an issue of Fiona doing charity work for UNICEF, which includes nursing starving babies, like Selma Hayek did. Who else would want to see starving babies getting nursed by Fiona? Just curious. The only restraining order would be not be a standard variety, if you get my meaning. Yes. The sex would be amazing with a woman that crazy, but restrain her. And for the woman that would be offended by Fiona, well, I forgot about the part where I give a fuck. All right, now. And hello to the PVFS. Welcome, milady, as we are on page 6 of issue 5 for Encrypted. And guess what arrived today? Issue 1 is right here. Yes, all those copies to those who pre-ordered will be coming out. They will be shipped out tomorrow morning, first thing tomorrow morning. Issue 1 is right here for all of you to see. And you can get your copy right there in the store. Right here, right now. Issue 1 is calling out to you. So why not try it out? And there's an issue 2 coming. Pre-orders for issue 2 will launch in my store on January 30th. But right now, remember, a regular copy is $5, an autographed copy is $10, an autographed and sketched in copy is $20, or you can subscribe to the comic for $60, or subscribe with signatures for $90. Or as Milady PVFS says right here, nice. Oh, yes. And of course, well, we always want the woman's point of view on this is how in this page, this is her, getting dressed, and now here making her entrance to her being invited to Buckingham Palace. This is Fiona dressing to meet the king at Buckingham Palace. In the previous pages, we saw her intervene during a failed Muslim terrorist attack on the new British Prime Minister, and as part of the celebration, part of the gratitude, she is getting to meet the king at this gala event happening. But there is treachery afoot as well, and it involves a former MI5 agent who prefers the moniker Johnny Basement. Yes. Now, one of the trademark of Fiona, where her bra is always visible, well, here she decided to go braless tonight for this event. And for all those that think that, all women would be offended by drawing women like this, well, take it up with the thumbs up from the PVFS right here. That is beautiful to know. And of course, you all know that your following issues are also ready. Only process now is to go and scan the artwork for issue 2 and get that assembled via Mixam. So we're just cleaning this up, getting all the pencil marks out of the way. And considering that it's a lady who runs Green Brain Comics, I'm wondering what the woman's intuition will be about issue 1 as I come in with those copies. And of course, she does have that juicy, spank-worthy ass. Except hers is athletic and earned. It's not a inflated circus cartoon-looking thing like with the Kardashians. Wow. Dun, 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 dun. My love, she throws me like a rubber ball. Oh, the sweetest thing. She won't catch me or make me crawl. Oh, the sweetest thing. Baby's got blue skies up ahead. This old rain cloud. She was the blue kind of love. Oh, the sweetest thing. Hello to Weatherman as we are here on page 6 to issue 5. Oh, Nelly. But the real whoa Nelly tonight is that look what arrived this morning. Issue 1 is here. Issue 1 for all of those who pre-ordered will be shipped out tomorrow morning. Yes, you will be getting this. You'll be getting this. It will be yours, yours, yours. So be there, be there, be there at your mailbox when this comes because it will be worth every penny. As you see your copy coming on in, having a good time. Yes. Yes, look, we're having a good time. As it is physically here, ready to go. So I have automatically beaten Vito. And it even smells like victory. Yes. Just like napalm in the morning, it's victory. And Weatherman finds it cool. Well, yes. And of course, Weatherman, you'll be getting your 2 copies as you've got the multiple subscriptions. You got both subscriptions. So that means you'll be getting a copy plus 1 with a good old nice gold signature. Yes. Because whoa, Black Betty, Bam, whoa, Black Betty, Bam, Black Betty got a child, Bam, the bam thing gone wild, Bam, hey, Black Betty, Bam, oh, Black Betty, Bam, Black Betty got the child, Bam, the damn thing gone wild, Bam, oh, Black Betty, Bam, oh, Black Betty, Bam, Black Betty got the child, Bam, damn thing gone wild, Bam, oh, Black Betty, Bam, say, Black Betty, Bam, go to chap, Bam, damn thing gone wild, Bam, eh, Black Betty, Bam, eh, Black Betty, Bam, oh, Black Betty, Bam, Black Betty, go to chap, Bam, damn thing gone wild, Bam, eh, Black Betty, Bam, say, Black Betty, Bam, oh, Betty got the child, Bam, thing gone wild, Bam, no seven going to child, Bam, eh, going fine, Bam, hey, Black Betty, Bam, say, Black Betty, Bam, say, Black Betty, Bam, oh, Black Betty, Bam. There we are. Oh, yeah. Oh, the headbangers in leather. I'll go on the dead of the line. The beast is ready to devour. It's gonna explode. It's your one-way ticket to midnight. Going in. Heavy metal desperation on the red light. Counting heavy metal knowing. Then heavy metal. You are here because you were mesmerized by my daughter's awesome rockin' tits. I had to return, curse your rockin' tits. You must lather up my daughter's beautiful hooters with soapy suds. And hello to Forever Lost right here. And Forever Lost, of course. Let's show you what just came in. Issue 1 arrived today. And all those pre-orders will be shipped out tomorrow. And any new orders that'll be coming in during the night, well, those will be shipped out tomorrow as well. As you all will be having a great time, having a fun time with the story right here. As well as a little preview for issue 2 on the way. It's coming. It's coming. Yes. Nice, it's finally here. And let me all drop the link into the chat again so you can get your copy. Do a little copy and paste. Oh yeah, right here. And there you are. Oh yeah. It was a night. Oh, what a night. LA, here we go. We're burning bright. You got a shock to the system. It's good and all right. You got the shock to the system, baby. Oh. Oh yeah, you got the shock to the shock to the shock to the system, baby. You got the shock to the shock to the shock to the system, yeah. The Forever says, nice. It's all coming along with all your hard work and also love her look tonight. Well, yes. This is her. This is Fiona visiting the king. Yes. Because of her having saved the prime minister in the previous pages, she's now been invited to this event at Buckingham Palace. So this is how she is dressing to address the king. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. And the world stands still. It was a night, oh, a night, late. Here we go, burning bright. The world stands still. You got the shock to the system. Good. All right. Shock to the system. And again. Air to the air. What a shock to the system. Yeah. And the world still burns. If it was in this world, Charles and William may be reconsidering their respective marriages. Yes. Now. Oh, yeah. Although she would say no to both of them. Fiona would reject them both. It was a night. Oh, what a night, LA. Here we go. We're burning bright. Na, 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 na. Ale, ale, ale. If a king met someone like this, he would be spellbound, most definitely. Even if the king is an old man, like the current king of England. That's what makes it so funny with how politically correct the UK is to now, because of them following the traditions of the monarchy. Now that it's the king, they now have to, follow "God Save the King" as the national anthem. Yes, it's "God Save the King." She would have many guys flabbergasted. Oh, yes. As she says right here. So it will be a better time if I leave the bra off tonight. All the men will agree that I'm the best dressed, as always. The jealous wives and mistresses cry, as always, too. It was a night. Oh, what a night. On this lamb, baby. Rock the cradle of love. It's the cradle of love. Then I'll go with the future so bright. Oh, like the future child bride. Ain't nobody's fool. Shake it up, whatever I do. Rock the cradle of love. And probably a lot of guys would be looking at Fiona dressed like this and be imagining her as the model in the Billy Idol Cradle of Love video. The lady that comes over to the rich guy's apartment and starts dancing around and doing the striptease. Go to the fire. Where's my desire? Gone on the fire. Give in to me. So it is not a room, it is the room. Oh. Mmm. Yeah, that tastes good. I'm tired. I'm wasted. I love you, darling. Oh. Understand, Johnny, he got drunk last night and he hit me. Johnny doesn't drink. Oh, he doesn't. Yeah, that tastes good. Oh. I can't tell you that. It's confidential. By the way, how's your sex life? Ha 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 ha. What a story, Mark. Now you can say that again. Okay. No, it's not true. Don't even ask. Oh, how was the weekend? Did anything fun? Oh, yeah, there was the comic show, the Warren Elk show this Saturday. That was a good time. And also, preparing for getting the shipment to come on in. Yeah, this was a fun time. And also, now with this being done, and once all these copies are shipped out and all that, I'm definitely going to be, going around town with some extra copies at my side to, show off what it is I'm doing to people and show off, hey, you want to here's something from a local hero. And the local hero would like to be rewarded with your women. Since I don't perpetually walk around in Walmart superhero shirts and sweatpants, and then, oh yeah, look at this, what I'm doing as a cartoonist, I'm most definitely going to probably surprise a lot of women with looking the way I do, and then, this is the career I have. Oh, ain't that good? I think that's good. Yes. It's so sad to see that women don't wear fur anymore. Oh, yes. And you see this, that you can tell this is not a fur coat. This was just a wrap. She just tied a good old fashioned fur wrap around herself. That's the kind of woman she was visiting the king. As His Majesty will not know what hit them. And also, don't forget that in the future, there will, besides all the copies that people that they pre-order will be getting, also there is a copy that will be sent to the copyright office in DC, because to show what it is I'm doing, and that I've got this commercial product, and here it is for the copyright. Because here I am, back to the bullet. If I sound like a didgeridoo, that might be what it takes to summon Kim to show up on the stream tonight. Faux fur or real fur looks so sexy on women? Yes. Well, Kim could be lurking tonight. There's that. Or RJ says, I think she would like the image of, you mean Fiona like this, or the image of me playing the didgeridoo? Or, well, maybe both, suggests RJ. That is one idea. We're getting our little friend right here. Yes, the Saigon whore who bit my nose off. Oh, you bit my new nose off. Oh. There's that. Maybe want to go and drink a nice glass of Chihuahua piss or something. Oh, I thought it was funny because you all got your asses kicked. Note to self: learn to fight. Now, there's two kinds of people in the world: those who get stomped on and those who do the stomping. Who was this? Yeah, there's that one guy. What was his name? Jesus? And hello to Nick right there. as he's coming in on the break. And yes, so everybody say hello as we've got issue 1 in hand. And everybody that got their pre-order will be getting their shipped out tomorrow. So hopefully they will all be arriving by Friday or Saturday, except of course for Kim, because hers has to go through the process of all the way going down to the land down under. And Weatherman brings up that Aaron Andrews wore that faux fur coat during the Eagles 49ers game. Looks sexy as hell. Well, maybe I should have watched that game then. Everybody's saying hello, 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 hello. Yes, yes, yes. You see, we got the back right here. And it's all in print. So now that means basically check, like as I've said, checkmate against Vito Gesualdi. And when we get to May, in issue 3 gets printed and shipped out for pre-orders. That means that then it'll be checkmate against Ethan Van Sciver, because I'll have 3 issues done of a comic series compared to his 2 that he's done independently. And yes, I still plan on putting that in the letter section, where it'll be a matter of an accomplishment with this 3rd issue is that now I have surpassed in self-publishing comics both Ethan Van Sciver and Alan Moore. Yes, given to me. When out of top bed. We got both a wave and a thumbs up right there. Give in to me. Get on the road, man. When on the fire. A quench my desire. We're gonna fire. Give in to me. Yes, the fur coat. Actually, no, this is the gentleman is taking away the fur. It's not even a fur coat, it's a fur wrap, as she's visiting Buckingham Palace. Yes, this is her entering Buckingham Palace, braless, of course, as I see in the dialogue right here. So it will be a better time if I leave the bra off tonight. All the men will agree that I'm best dressed, as always. The jealous wives and mistresses cry, as always, too. You can't deactivate it once it's been activated. Don't you read spy novels? I feel alright on a Saturday night. Get inside, gonna get it. The radio's my only light. Oh, there's rock. I gotta rock. Gotta go phone the feeling on the radio. Oh, you got to get up. Everybody gonna move their seat and get down. Everybody gonna leave their seat. You gotta lose your mind in Detroit, Rock City. And yes, Buckingham Palace ain't seen nothing like Fiona. Most especially, yes. Now, if there's ever a chance in the future where I wind up getting the chance to pull off doing what Kiss did with their Marvel comic in the 70s, where all 4 members of the band had their blood drawn by a registered nurse, and then it was refrigerated and brought to the printers that Marvel Comics was using, so they could then mix the blood of all 4 members of the band into the red ink that was printed in their Marvel comic, I would gladly do something like that. They think that would be a gimmick too far for me to go and rip off Kiss and do the blood drawn thing for a future comic. Or, will it just make me come off like some type of vanilla ice situation? If you don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to vanilla ice, not even Vanilla Ice himself, but what In Living Color did. Let's see a little. Now you got it. No, Luke, go for it. If you go with a blood issue, try not to volunteer that to Sydney. Oh, yes. Because there is the idea of, maybe Sydney Sweeney being, a good choice for doing a movie of Encrypted with Our Lady like this. We certainly know she likes to go to big gala events in real life, braless, like Fiona's doing right here. Or hell, for all you know, maybe doing the blood issue thing like Kiss did will then lead to, me getting to marry Sydney the way that Gene Simmons wound up marrying Shannon Tweed. Certainly be more dignified than this.
You want to file free?
Oh, yes. Blast this Christmas music. It's joyful and triumphant. There with the turbo.
Yo, VIP, let's kick it. All right, stop. What I do up my laces. This kind of thing happens every show. Yo, I gotta learn how to tie a bow. What's your real name? Robert Van Winkle. Why did you cheat? Nothing rhymes with Winkle. Oh, yeah. I'm white, and I'm...
Did you actually know anybody that ever actually owned those Nike pump-up shoes? I would see them getting parodied in movies and all that, where the Nike pump-up shoes, but did anybody ever actually buy and wear them?
On a trend that's currently rising, mix it with Curly and Larry and Moe. Hey, yo! When's it gonna stop? Maybe never. I become richer with every endeavor. I'm living large and my bank is stupid, because I just listen to real rap and stupid.
Okay, well, Nick says that he had as a kid, he had a pair of those pump-up shoes. Well, that's one person. Actually, no, wait. Forever says I had two of them. Okay, so at least it's like with Weatherman and Nick both saying that they owned Sega Saturns back in the day. So that finally I've known people that owned the Sega Saturn. Now also there's multiple people that own, I know of, that have owned Nike pump-up shoes. Can you hear that one guy in the audience going, "Go white boy, go white boy"? Weatherman says, had a friend that had a pair, but his sister ended up breaking the bladder and messing around. Did she, was that friend like your ginger sister, and she was using the bladder and the pump-up shoes to spray chocolate sauce all over her breasts to get her boyfriend to get her pregnant? Or am I just going too far in assuming that, every woman in Weatherman's life is some type of sex maniac? Am I taking things too far?
In the butt, but it was a toilet paper cut. Hey guys, what's up? Yo, I ain't stupid. I just stupid. Word to your mother.
This is your problem.
Amazing, isn't it? Oh yeah, I also did see those. Yeah, the little red flashing lights in the soles, the light up shoes. Yeah, they also made the light up shoes called LA Lights. I did know kids with those. I did see those. Well, the bladder broke in the shoes from messing around, but no, not like that. Not like what's making PVS raise an eyebrow there about the chocolate sauce on the breasts. No, she was showing them to her friend while he was at work. Okay, that's good to know. So it's good to know that not everybody out there associated with Weatherman is always a sex pervert. Well, if you like Jim Carrey, now let's try Tommy Davidson as Michael Jackson.
I was 10. I wrote a love song to a rat named Ben. And then I got a nose job and changed my chin and made my skin light. Hey, look me in the face and tell me if you think I'm black or white. I'm still a virgin and I'm 33. Even Madonna won't have sex with me. I play with little animals and hang out with Macaulay all night. And if that's not strange enough, I don't know whether I'm black or white. If I'm black or white, you tell me. We don't know. Black or white, I don't know. We don't. If I'm black or white, you tell me.
Right. There's a better one I can show you. The Michael Jackson Potato Head Kit. Did you have the Wheelies sneakers? Actually, no. That one I did not have. Archer says, I need to go back and see if this was before or after the allegations. The black or white parody, that was after the allegations. That crappy last year of the show they did, where all the Wayans family was gone, so it was just Jim Carrey and like Tommy Davidson. They did do a parody of the allegations and all that, the first big ones in '93. Oh yeah, the shoes with the skates. I would see those, but I never had them.
Are you bored? Nothing to do? Is your family quality time like family nap time? Well, wake up! It's time for fun with the Michael Jackson Potato Head Kit. That's right. Capture the many faces of Michael Jackson with the Michael Jackson Potato Head Kit. 400 molded plastic facial features allow kids to reconstruct Michael's ever-changing face after every single one of his plastic surgery operations.
I made my Michael Jackson potato head look like he looked when he was with the Jackson 5, with a strong Afro-American nose and a big fro.
The strong nose, so flat he couldn't breathe through that shit when he was sleeping. I can't be the only one that's ever seen a black man with a really, really flat nose and wondered if they can actually breathe through that thing. I know I'm not the only one who's ever thought that. And Nick just dropped in a $5 super sticker. So we've got 1 out of 3 going tonight. Okay, now we got the momentum to make this a trifecta. Okay. Tommy playing a child with a mustache is funny. Well, that's the thing with sketch comedy shows or whatever, where they have a clearly adults trying to play little kids. It can always come off ridiculous.
I made my Michael Potato Head into the Michael of April 1986, right before his third nose job, but after his extensive cheekbone reconstruction and the cleft added to his chin.
Now, keeping the April 1986 face as it is, replace the hair with hairpiece number 139-D, and look who you just made. It's Michael Jackson's own idol, Diana Ross. Now, just add mole number 5-D, and you've made Michael's fabulous sister, Janet. Take away the nose completely, and you've just made LaToya.
Look, everybody, I made Michael look just like he looked on the front of his Bad album.
That's great, son. But you know, something's just not quite right. I know. That's right. With just an ordinary kitchen vegetable peeler, you can simulate Michael's chemical face peel and dermabrasion scrubs. The only limits are your family's imagination. There is no end to the maxillofacillary fun. The Michael Jackson Potato Head Kit from Dimco. Mashed potato liposuction accessories sold separately.
And the spoof they did about the 93 allegations, here it is. Nick saying, have a good night, everyone. All right, everybody wish Nick a good night there. Once again, let's hope none of his co-workers wash their feet in the toilet. The Michael Jackson Potato Head Kit.
He was cute in those skin-tight jeans, barely 13. I said, you wanna come play with me? We could have fun. On my ranch, in the dark, with a llama. Buy your toy, spend a ton. And you don't have to go tell your mama. We were hanging out, cuddling in the bed, playing video games. Even if Brooke Shields won't let me knock her boots. I don't jump through, so don't believe the news. Hey, hey, little Billy's not my lover. He's just a kid. He claims that I touched his buns. But I swear I didn't get none. I might be weird, but my record sell. So what the hell? Getting to the truth is kind of tough when you grab your stuff. On the stage, when I sing, grab a thing. There's no need to call vice. Prison, I'm sure it's not nice. It's not nice, not nice. Little Billy's not my love. No, 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 no. Little Billy's not my love. No, no, no.
Michael Jackson, you've just been accused of a terrible crime and your career teeters on ruin. What are you going to do next?
I'm gonna go to Thailand. Liz?
Oh, here's another great one.
Yesterday's networks just won't meet the needs of tomorrow's AI. It was the point that we said we're going to need a bigger boat.
Everybody wishing Nick a good night. That's nice. That's fun. That's good. But now we got Joe Jackson and LaToya.
The whole family's crazy. I don't know why. Just one little hit from me would make them cry. Now Tito's angry and Michael's shy. LaToya's book of the month is a pack of lies. She's gonna get it. Oh, she's gonna get it. She's gonna get it. Oh, she's gonna get it.
Janet's got the talent, Michael's got the fame. The rest of the family is pretty lame. They didn't show me in that movie of the week, but Playboy.
They're referencing that Jackson 5 miniseries they did in the early 90s, the one where the parents were Angela Bassett and the black guy from Welcome Back, Kotter. Yeah, I do remember them showing LaToya Jackson in there because I remember she was played by one of Danny Glover's daughters in the Lethal Weapon movies. And also one of the other Jackson 5 kids was Terrence Howard and what had to have been like his first acting job. And PVFS remembers that. It was something that would rerun on VH1 a lot. There was also, around that same time, those same people produced TV miniseries about the Temptations, and that also aired a lot on that in replays on VH1. Because yeah, the Jackson 5 one, I also remember it had Vanessa Williams in a part, and for sure I remember Billy D. Williams as Barry Gordy, who ran Motown Records. Yes, the Jackson 5 really did get screwed. Around that time, everyone thought he was guilty when it was everyone in Hollywood were the guilty ones. We should have been looking at the whole time. Oh, yes. Considering that, well, he had a jury of his peers, and with the entire media worldwide apparatus dedicated to trying to nail Michael to the wall, they still couldn't convict him. But everybody in the legal system's been going out of their way to make sure that the likes of a Harvey Weinstein could avoid justice, and is doing everything they can to make sure that Bill Clinton and his wife never get locked up like they deserve. So yeah, no, complete crock of shit. And hello to Donnie right here. And PVFS says there was a bunch of shows like that, even for TV shows. Oh yeah, definitely around that time.
I showed you my big Twin Peaks.
She's gonna get it. Oh, she's gonna get it. She's gonna get it. Oh, she's gonna get it.
One thing in life you must understand. I didn't mean to marry that white man, but he promised me fame and a career of my own. Now I just sit next to my psychic telephone.
There's something about you, LaToya, that makes me want to strangle you. I swear there's something about you, LaToya, that makes me. Girl, you better look at me. I'm talking to you. Have you lost your mind? The next time you put my...
Sounds like my father. Yeah, Jen was the only one that really looked out for him, referring to Michael. Yes, of course.
In the street, I'll lock you in a closet.
Or we got the Brady Bunch here.
What's your name?
Sir.
Here's a story of a man named Jackson who was bringing up some very lovely kids. Motown Records signed up 5, one with talent, the rest would hit the skids. They made money and changed their noses. Michael tried to look like Miss Diana Ross. So did Janet and Riri and Randy. And Joe was still the boss. Then LaToya wrote a book and posed for Playboy. Said her dad would beat the boys and girls he touched. Tito's fat and Mike hangs with Macaulay. Then I'm evil will do the sanest of the bunch. The Jackson bunch. We have a hunch. Joe's the reason his kids are out to lunch.
Funny, isn't it? Yes, as Weatherman brings up, Janet and Michael were really close. Michael wrote songs for her that got her career going. Oh yeah, when you around the later years of what was it? Oh yeah, Good Times. They added her into the cast, and then from there she started trying to get her singing career off the ground, which I mean she actually pulled off. So now you see that for sure. You know the. And did you ever see that photo of it was like the Vanity Fair Academy Awards after party? There, I remember seeing one year they had it where it was Janet Jackson in like a chainmail top with George Lucas, and George Lucas looks the happiest he's ever been in his entire life, getting to be there with Miss Jackson. So does that mean that our friend George Lucas is a nasty boy for having himself enjoying a bit of that ebony perfection? if you know what I mean by this photo, the 2002 Vanity Fair after party at the Oscars. There's Miss Jackson. Although it looks like she's the one who's nasty, and there's Mr. Lucas in his tuxedo. Then again, I've also seen video footage of George Lucas wearing a tuxedo to go to a Playboy Mansion New Year's party. So, okay. And yes, Bubbles made that funny as hell. If she was Willis's girlfriend on Different Strokes, well, I don't remember ever hearing anything about her being on Different Strokes. I know they the last couple of years or so of Good Times they brought her on there, but I know that she also appeared on that show too. Well, he did marry a black woman, not a pretty one, but, you can still tell that he likes the chocolate, yes. And, well, RJ has an interesting idea of what Lucas was probably thinking or what he said to her behind closed doors of, I'm going to fuck you like I'm Kathleen Kennedy and you're Lucasfilm. That actually would not be, that off base. That's the, just saying right there. Or here's a little rock'em sock'em.
Hi, I'm Joe Jackson. You know me as a father of the Jackson 5, being a tightwad and beating my kids like a drum. But you really shouldn't beat your kids. It's just they do so many damn things make you mad. Like swell up when you whoop them. Then you got to whip all of them so you have a matching set. That's why I'm so glad this new toy came along. The Joe Jackson Kids Rock'em Sock'em Robots. Yes, now you can beat my kids too. Beat all the Jackson kids. Beat Michael. Hit him so hard you'll knock the white off him. Boy's talking about a skin disease. His skin been bleached more times than Madonna's Mustang. Beat that Stang Latoya. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. String her up by her funky weave. And sucker punch the hell out of my personal favorite, Tito. Hey, Tito, you want to go a few rounds? Knock my block off again, Dad. You got that right, boy. I'm going to hit you so hard, by the time you stop rolling, your Jerry curl's going to be back in style. Well, compared to you, Woody Allen's Father of the Year. Good shot, son. Too bad you can't knock the talent into somebody. Oh, I tried. Lord knows I tried. Well, I got you this time. Best for scaring Michael, and best for cheating on Mom. Watch out, son. And most of all, best for naming me Tito. Look, I won. I finally did something right. Yeah, well, watch out for my left.
And remember, that's an Academy Award-winning actor who's doing that. Jamie Foxx as Tito. How would you do, Tito?
Boy, come here. I brought you into this world. I'm going to take you out.
So don't slug your kids. Slug Joe Jackson's kids. They're used to it. Get the new Joe Jackson Kids Rock'em Sock'em Robots. Just beat it.
Now let's move on from the Jacksons to our friend Arsenio Hall. After this, of course.
Jackson. Now, with my son Michael out the country, who am I supposed to borrow money from? Tito? I don't think so. I need to maintain my high style of living. That's why we're having the Never Land sale. You'll never find a bargain like these. Everything gotta go. Come on, boy, bring the behind. Now, take this llama, for instance. This little beauty costs thousands of dollars in a big city suit. But see, down here at the Never Land, you can walk it off the lot for just $99.99. That's right, $99.99. Spurs so soft you can ride a butt naked. Michael did. Come on, boy, bring it behind. Come on. These black videotapes, we literally have thousands. These whole videos had to be bulk erased to avoid prosecution. And now we pass the savings on to you.
Gone now. And while you're watching your home movies, hot pop some popcorn. The Elephant Man's skull makes a great popcorn ball. I am not an animal. Now, come on, Marlon, bring me that box, man. How about some children's clothes? These used to belong to Michael's little monkey named Bubbles, but he's dead, and this stuff is priced to move. Look at these cute little overalls. Look at this here sweater. Look at this cute little pair of satin underdrawers. Wait a minute, these are Latoyas. Now go on, get out of here. Come on, boy. Come on. You got a skin problem? No problem. We got cases and cases of fade cream. Also great for removing birthmarks and incriminating moles. Look here. Are you having trouble sleeping? Check out this hyperbaric sleeping chamber. No reasonable offer will be turned down. And it's got other uses too. Crazy daughter won't keep a damn mouth shut writing all them damn books. Locked from the outside, and it's soundproof too. Get down here in the next 20 minutes and I'll throw in Latoya absolutely free. Better hurry, because 20 minutes of air is about all she got left. Joe Jackson, he beats prices like he beats his kids.
Now let's get to Joe Jackson was always scary, yes. And forever had Rock'em Sock'em Robots. They looked like fun, but that's another thing I didn't have. I never had Rock'em Sock'em Robots. But let's see what our friend here, Arsenio, got to say about the reefer. Yes. Now, this is something I do remember vividly, the DARE campaign. That was all over schools in the 90s.
Well, I guess it all started because my dad used to keep pot in the house.
And nothing says in living color quite like opening a skit with Michael Myers' niece from the 80s Halloween sequels. Yeah. Or maybe, around the time she's 30, then in the shitty Rob Zombie Halloween films, where you finally get to see her naked.
Sneak into the bathroom, smoke a few. I was 9 years old. I guess I just did it to be cool.
Or what's safer, her smoking her dad's joints, or her being either the niece of Michael Myers that's always trying to kill her, or being the niece of Steven Seagal and getting caught in a crossfire with Jamaican drug lords during a drive-by shooting? If you remember Marked for Death, yeah, that early Steven Seagal movie. They hurt my baby. Her getting gunned down by Jamaican drug lords, while her mom, who also was one of Bill Clinton's original rape accusers, the former Miss Arkansas, Elizabeth Grayson, holding her body. She's laying there in her own blood. They hurt my baby. Oh, always a welcome person. Yeah, yes.
Know what I mean? Hey, man, you nodding off? Hey, snap out of it. I'm trying to talk to you about smoking pot.
Oh, young lady, you don't want to do that. You want to say no to the drugs.
That's why you called us here today, to talk about our experiences. Like this one time I was smoking a roach.
That's really cruel. Why not just turn the lights on and yell, raid? They always scatter.
No, you see, I was holding the roach with my clip.
Oh, she brought a clip. Sandy, kick it.
And yes, I did watch that earlier. The crash and burn video on Steven Seagal. That was definitely, yes, a good one. Although I already know pretty much all the information in there from having had a morbid fascination with Seagal for years. To the point where even the few people online who actually defend him still will acknowledge dark shit. Like this one guy called Viking Samurai, who's like a martial arts bro YouTuber. That one bad movie channel I keep showing you, Jason Brandt, he did a video for Under Siege 2 that has that Viking Samurai guy as a guest, and even then it's still like he's trying to defend him and it's failing. Because, yeah, remember, Under Siege 2 is the one that has 16-year-old Katherine Heigl in it, and if you've seen that notorious picture of at the premiere for the movie where Seagal's got his hand on her chest. Yeah. To the point where you're making us feel sympathetic for Katherine Heigl, and that takes an awful lot. another reason to hate the new Chucky show was the fact that for all the actors who didn't die from previous movies coming back for some little aware gag appearance, and yet they couldn't get Katherine Heigl to show up again as her Bride of Chucky character to finally correct the record and put a nail gun through her skull.
No, what I'm saying is, I was 9 years old and I was already doing reefer.
Just like Clarence Thomas. He did it at a young age, and look at him today. I think we got a superstar on the horizon. Sandra Day O'Connor, watch yourself. Yes.
So anyway, I'm getting stoned in my room all the time, skipping school, selling my parents' stuff just so I can buy more.
She's dressed like how Nickelodeon producers would think like the tough, girls with from a Bad Family dress. Yes, and of course, ladies and gentlemen, Keenan Ivory Wayans, which is how I always say his full name. Yes, he did do a great Arsenio Hall. And remember, Arsenio Hall also did one of the main voices on the real Ghostbusters, so it would have been cool if they went and did a real Ghostbusters parody with him doing the Arsenio Hall impression.
You ever watch somebody roll a joint? You really don't want none. First of all, it looks like they're pouring some dirt in the toilet paper. Then they lick it with the big-ass lips. Then hand it to you. No, thank you. Just spit on me. Did you ever get to the hard stuff?
No, just the small stuff.
Oh, strive to be number one. Let's give a big Coke Booger round of applause to our niece. Yes. Come back when you're doing crack. Give it up. Yeah.
Come back when you're doing crack. No, that's more of a Miley Cyrus thing. I mean, one thing about this actress, she was able to go into an adult career without being completely blitzed and drugged out of her mind and jumping onto every aberrant mental health disorder, sexual identity, like, say, Kristen Stewart. Kristen Stewart is Demi Lovato without the redemption arc. Because as we saw that Shoe on Head video I showed a bit of recently about how Demi Lovato went totally batshit fucking crazy woke, and although in recent years she lost the weight, grew her hair back out, and now married a man. So, but will we see Kristen Stewart be doing that? I would say fuck no.
I haven't read the movie, but my people tell me this next juvenile delinquent is giving Danny Bonaduce a big run for his money. Yes, he's gone beyond the transvestite. Ethan, tell us all about it.
I was 12 years old and it all started with weed.
I love that movie, Ethan. Yes, Nick Nolte is one of my favorite stars. Did you see him in 48 Hours 1 and 2? He and Eddie are magic. Not as much as me and Eddie. Oh, I love Nick Nolte.
I don't think you understand. I was smoking weed.
Is that the nerd kid from Step by Step, or am I just saying things?
Let me ask you something. Why don't people do pot? All it does is make you laugh at everything. When you finish, you're tired. Feel stupid about doing it. Kind of like watching my show. Let me ask you something, Ethan. You're a young man. You're smoking weed. What are you, 12 years old? Doing things that kids do. You ever find yourself just freaking out? Thinking maybe Super Mario is coming?
Although Forever says that Kristen might do that in her 50s when no guy wants her. She's wasting her youth LARPing to like Kitty. Yeah. Because remember, yes, in Hollywood, yes, a sexual preference is a career move. So yeah, don't be fucking surprised if she winds up, suddenly going on. If she winds up attempting that sort of Demi Lovato switch of, oh well, forgive me, I'm not an insane, drugged out, lesbianic freak who's clearly acting out because I got diddled and I'm desperate for attention because my career is failing as an adult. Yeah, I think that might be a different kid too.
Coming to get you? Pac-Man's trying to eat you? Oh, Pac-Man's after me! Pac-Man's after me! Well, how about you, young lady? Now you're on top of the missing person charts, turning tricks for cigarettes, prostitution. At your age, you ever ask yourself, what's next? Feel like you're getting blasé?
I don't know.
She looks like she came straight from the set of Little House on the Prairie. Like what happens with, child actresses in Hollywood, they start off like this, and then they get turned into this.
At your age, you ever ask yourself, what's next? Feel like you're getting blasé?
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just waiting for my mom.
Oh, and I bet she's one bad mama jamma. If she looks anything like you, I'm sending Paul Abdul back to the fat farm. Yes. Does your mom turn tricks? I know. Bad host. Bad host. Let's bring it back around to my man, Ethan. When did you stop to say no?
Well, I guess it was...
Ethan is his name. Well, then that means that by the time he's, 40, he'll be a repulsively obese lol cow who is 3 years late on finishing a 40-page comic book. Is this how Ethan dressed when he was, in that guy's car behind the dumpster at the New Jersey pizzeria until he saw comic books in his backseat and then got out and ran?
It was when I just looked at my life and I said, geez, I was living in a bus depot. I washed my clothes in a sewer. It smelled like it too. It's so funny. It's so funny.
Oh, nothing. Just thinking about my new haircut. Look like Gumby with a jerry curl. Well, let me ask a question to all of us. You ever do anything illegal? Well, let's say hello to my mystery guest tonight, LAPD in the house. Yes! A very valuable lesson, Ethan. If someone ever asks you to do anything illegal, just say no. Remember that. Just say no. Strive to be number one. Look out for Bubba. He likes young white guys. Yeah, boy. Take us home with some of that crack pipe overdose laying in the alley.
I was reminded of the Paula Abdul parody, so let's see this. But of course, you have to get past this PDF cookie.
Slow down your Mac.
My thighs are spreading and my butt is real wide. Can't disguise it, got nowhere to hide. How can I look skinny? Promise of a thing. Promise of a thing. They stretched my body and they're shrunken my hips. Can't they do this to Wilson Phillips? How do I look skinny? Promise of a thing. Promise of a thing. My voice is bad and my singing's a joke. Still make millions off of Diet Coke. How do I sing on key? Others do it with me. I give them a large fee. I cheered the Lakers and taught Janet to dance. Then got into Arsenio's pants. I'm on MTV. Connections didn't hurt me. Promise of a rich me. Promise of a thin me. Promise of a thin me. Promise of a thin me.
And then, of course, off in the corner there is the fine Asian honey who also became a judge on Dancing with the Stars later on. She was one of the fly girls for, I think, the whole time that In Living Color was on the air. And we've got Austin Woods in the chat saying, straight up, now tell me, or am I caught in a... no, you're not caught in anything. We just finished page 6 to issue 5 right here. This is how Fiona dresses visiting Buckingham Palace. Of course, she's going braless to see the king. But what's also kingly is that issue 1 arrived today. So, Austin, your copy, along with everyone else's copies, will be shipped out first thing tomorrow morning. And remember, Weatherman, he went and got 2, so he's got a couple of them coming along between him getting both of the one-year subscriptions we're offering. And remember, and between now and the day before issue 2 arrives at my door, anybody who orders Encrypted with those subscription will be getting their first issue, will be issue 1 shipped out to them immediately, then followed by then when issue 2's print run appears, then that'll be shipped out to them. But once it's issue 2 arrives, then that means that your subscription will start with issue 2. And, as it'll go on with each subsequent following issue, where the one that when that is printed, then that's when your subscription starts. Yes, or as Austin says, boners up, referring to Fiona dressed like this. Maybe sometime in a future issue, I'll try to see if she can pull off the Kelly LeBrock weird science look when she makes her entrance in the blue panties with the belly shirt. Just a little. Yes, with issue 1 right here. All ready to go. And once again, game, set, match, I beat Vito Gesualdi by actually getting my comic out. Now it'll take just another 2, and I'll have also beaten Alan Moore and Ethan Van Sciver. As Austin says, Twin Peaks / X-Files vibes. Well, definitely that's what I was going for with issue 1. And well, in general, the overall kind of story of Encrypted would be like, say, I for those who are in the know when it comes to comics, I say picture the X-Files by way of Frank Miller and Howard Chaykin. Yes, if Howard Chaykin and Frank Miller collaborated on the X-Files, you get Encrypted. And yes, boners out for Fiona. Austin says also Frank Miller. Well, what got me into comics in the first place was Sin City, so most definitely Frank Miller is there's going to be something there of in anything I do with Frank Miller involved. And hell, if we could somehow get a copy in his hands to see what he thinks of this, it would definitely be fun. It'd be interesting to see what a Grandmaster would think of it, but also at the end of the day, your peers don't really matter as much as what the actual, buying, readership would think. RJ says, the start of big things in your future. Oh, for sure, for sure. And Austin says, I love Frank, but he is not late now more often than not. So your output is faster than his, but yeah, he's one of the GOATs. Well, remember, we've got this issue right here, followed by 2, 3, and 4 already finished, as we're currently doing issue 5. So when it comes to issue 2, the process of getting that printed, it's simply a matter of scanning the artwork and then typing up the text pieces, including, yes, the opening cover letter. Each issue will have an opening cover letter like this, but from issue 2 onward, there will be a letters section in the back. So as soon as you get your copies and all that, you've got the address where you can send physical mail to, or the email address that you can email to, and those will then wind up getting reprinted here in the back page, Encrypted Messages Inc. That is where you'll be getting your letters, and I'll be responding to them in the back to go and apply everything I learned with issue 1 being done. Now it's a matter of applying every correction to issue 2. And keep applying that and applying that over and over. And Austin says, Frank Miller is probably my favorite, I guess. I don't know. I do love Dave Sim, but not enough buts. Frank Frazetta, I like the Franks. Well, Dave Sim for sure is most definitely an inspiration on my account. I would say that when it comes to doing and really going forward, and also seeing how going forward my own way with my own title and doing it all myself, it really is nowhere near as much of an insurmountable nightmare as other people made it out to be. All the pre-press work is nowhere near as much of something to psych you out of doing comics as much as there is. Really, at the end of the day, I'm reminded of like the opening lines from this movie called Payback, where Mel Gibson, he got shot in the back, and this in the middle of this heist he was doing with a friend who wound up stealing all the money they stole away from him. So he barely survives, and the whole movie is about him going to track down the bastard who stole what it was that was supposed to be them together. And as he's laying there getting operated on to get the bullet out of his back, the opening lines are narration, right? It brings up about how most people don't know what their life is worth. And he says, well, I know how much mine is worth, $70,000. And to paraphrase that, right here, right now, I'm looking at what it took to get this comic actually made. And at the end of the day, what does it take to get into comics? I have a very, very direct answer to all of that. What does it take to get into comics? For me, it took $594 and change. That's what it took. That's what it took. Not many people know what their life is worth. I do. 70 grand. That's what they took from me, and that's what I was going to get back. Yes. What is it? And for me, to paraphrase that, what does it take to get into what comics? $594. Austin says, this panel is very Dave Sim, high society, great backgrounds and lettering in addition to the character work, amazingness, amazing lines. Well, this is supposed to be Buckingham Palace, so even just a portion of Buckingham Palace like this, it has to look like something straight out of what Gerhard contributed to Cerebus. Because, well, remember, I actually do have a bunch of the Cerebus phone books from High Society all the way up to Going Home. Yes, that's how far into the Cerebus phone books I have, from High Society all the way up to Going Home. So that whole last 3 years where it's all about the King James Bible, and the second half of the Going Home storyline, Form and Void. And also and actually, wait, I do have an early 25 issues through the Swords of Cerebus trades. Yeah, when Dave Sim was first doing the trade paperbacks to keep the earlier issues in print, they were called the Swords of Cerebus, where they were 4 issues at a time in a single trade, and each issue had its own little text piece introduction about how it got made. So yeah, actually, I have all the way from the beginning up to Going Home when it comes to all of that, when it comes to Cerebus. As Austin says, hard work. Or Weatherman says, rule number 3, whatever you do, don't look back. Yes. As Austin says, time spent at conventions, pimping sketches, and signed copies of trades. Well, in the future, I do plan on, besides pimping sketches, there are plans of more issues being done, and at least sometime next year, with the first year of the comic being done, 6 issues would be more than enough to then potentially go and see if I could be able to get a trade, if I could be able to afford to get a trade printed. Because I would love to do that for next year, to have year 1 all collected in a trade for everyone. Just forgot that little detail there because her dress is sheer. As Austin says, Going Home rules. I do like the ending, though. His Hemingway so spot on. He was great at mimicking authors. Well, I know that the more and more that Dave Sim worked, the more he showed how great he was being able to imitate other comic drawing styles. And then his interests went beyond that. And he wasn't just able to go and perfectly imitate the styles of other comic artists, but also of other pen and ink illustrators outside of comics, as well as then writing-wise, that whole storyline, the Going Home part, is one big road trip, while also researching about Hemingway and F. Scott Fitzgerald, including issues where the whole issue is not even an actual comic book. It's just a short story printed like it's, photocopied pages out of a book of one story or another that's an original story written in the style of Hemingway and or Fitzgerald. And Austin also says, Going Home has the last great moment in Cerebus with Jaka bailing after he slaps her. The religious stuff is fun, and the ending slaps, but Going Home was probably the last peak phone book. Well, it seems that there's something about those last few phone books that are so hard to find, without it being so prohibitively expensive. Because when you go to like on eBay or whatever, Foreman Void and Latter Days and The Last Day are always like at the cheapest, like $60 for those Cerebus paperbacks. And also, one way or another, depending how long that Encrypted actually goes, I do plan on not going anywhere near as long as 300 issues. With the actual like rock solid goal of doing 12 issues of this, but if it winds up being that there's so much of an audience and so much of readership for it after issue 12 that I would keep it going, I still have no intention of going anywhere near that 300 issue run that Sim wound up doing. And I remember when you could get them all at every Borders, but that was before it ended. Yeah, 300 issues is a lot. Oh, yes, for sure. And well, now this is the last call, ladies and gentlemen. The last call for super chats, the last call for channel memberships, and the last call for donations into my store. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, there you go, go. You've got your chance right here to get yourself a copy of issue 1. The comics now all have become so damn expensive. Well, this is a nice $5 right here, where you get your Twin Peaks and your X-Files together at the same time. Also, another thing that I was looking at a lot when I did this issue was Manhunter, the original Hannibal Lecter movie, the one from the 80s that was done. It was in the 80s. It was of it was adapting Red Dragon, and it had Brian Cox playing Dr. Hannibal Lecter. Yes. Twin Peaks, X-Files, and Manhunter. Because she can feel the heartbeat knocking at the window. The heartbeat. She's looking for the heartbeat. Oh, heartbeat. Listen to my heartbeat. Yes, Manhunter is a classic. And yeah, early Michael Mann, that's an example of. Austin also asks, didn't Denny O'Neil do 100 issues of Azrael? Kind of crazy. Batman's failed villain got a 100-issue run. It actually wound up going longer than that. It ran for like 160-something issues after Denny O'Neil stopped writing. But yeah, it's interesting how the purposefully made to fail ridicule of the early 90s anti-hero shtick wound up having a longer lasting comic than any of the runs of the Carol Danvers Captain Marvel or Miss Marvel that perpetually get canceled and started with a new #1 because of no sales, or the overrated Mark Waid Daredevil run that also had multiple cancellations and do-overs with #1. Maybe it's a hot take, but 12 issues was way too many for the long Halloween. Well, a story like that is not meant to be an ongoing saga. With Fiona right here, it is meant to be an ongoing saga. She is meant to be that sort of like a comic book equivalent of one of those, potboiler novel characters that's ongoing, like, Mike Hammer, the detective books of Mike Hammer, or of, say, even The Shadow, or even The Executioner, something like that. What did Jean Paul Valley do in all that time? Schrodinger's Batman. Well, mainly it was a matter of him trying to go and reinvent himself to get out from under the nightmare of literally when that whole new series of all about him started off. He was just an insane vagrant with nowhere to go. And it's a matter of building himself back up and using that whole training he had to try to make himself into his own hero. Under the watchful eye of Batman, seeing how he proved himself to be somebody who could be compromised and be sent down a dark path. And also there's a bunch of issues of the Azrael comic that ties in with the Batman No Man's Land storyline when Denny O'Neil was writing it, and they're actually pretty entertaining, including right when the earthquake first hits Gotham City, there's a very interesting, important issue of it where, as Jean-Paul Valley is, there patrolling, he sees that there's a police truck that gets unearthed and destroyed over the earthquake, which winds up unleashing Bane. So then the whole initial storyline with Azrael's involvement with the earthquake in Gotham City before No Man's Land is trying to hunt down Bane under the personal vendetta that Bane would have against him, and of Azrael being determined to trap him and stop him again. Because it was the Jean-Paul Valley Batman who paralyzed Bane and returned the favor for crippling Bruce Wayne. And on that note, I want to thank you all for watching. Subscribe so my channel will reach 10,000 subs. Don't forget to become a channel member today and shop at my art store with the first link in the description below, where you can buy my art or commission me or support me with a donation. Besides that, now my first comic book, Encrypted #1, is now available in my store. A regular copy is $5, an autographed copy is $10, an autographed and sketched in copy is $20, or you can subscribe to the comic for $60 or subscribe to the comic with signatures for $90. So tomorrow I will have shorts at 5 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 and 6 of a new video premiering at 6:30, and I'll be live again at 10. So until then, felines, slam it, lick it, suck it, and see you.